Hey there, how's it going, everybody? It's Saturday, and we're lounging on the couch, although it's been sort of a busy day. Let's talk about some baseball. We have picks. Katrina wants to bet today because she lost yesterday, even though she won the day before. So we're going to try to win today, and let's look through the picks and find out what we need. We're already kind of midway through the day. Some things I like are this Toronto-Kansas City game is looking very good. Even this Tampa Bay Yankees game is also looking good. Arizona-Washington, not so much. Arizona didn't pick up and win, so that's trouble. Cubs also scored a bunch of runs. That was a bit odd based on what we have here. So let's talk about later in the day when you can watch this because Katrina needs to wager. So what do we do here? This Boston game is going on right now. Very, very early. I think they're actually down early to the White Sox, so we could consider trying to get some runs for Boston because that 20% means they're probably going to put up some runs today. So maybe we'll take an over for Boston. Mm-hmm. See how that goes. Mm-hmm. This is a big one that's staring us in the face. What is this saying here with this green and this pink? Who's it saying to take?
Detroit. Oakland is a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
The margin between them is
huge. Yeah, it's huge margin. And look at this negative 31% power for Oakland. They're awful, and it's because they're not playing well this year. And Cole Irvin, their pitcher, has had a terrible year so far. So Detroit at plus 115, they're an underdog because they're still Detroit, and people don't think they're a good team. That is going to have to be. It's going to have to be a pick we take because the algorithm says do it. Mm-hmm. Even if we change pitching stats to run like another simulation on this game to say, well, how did Cole Irvin pitch last year? He was even worse last year with an ERA of 17. Look at the score, just changed to 10-3 from 7-2. It's even worse. So it really says Detroit, 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 Motor City, here we come. That's what it says. It says bet 'em. So we will take Detroit. What else we got deep in here? Anything else look good? There's something down here. This is a doubleheader. It's the second game of the day between Toronto and Kansas City. Kansas City's Irvin Santana, not a good pitcher. This is from 2019, his old stats for him. But it likes Toronto against. I think Toronto's another good pick here at a good line. Mm-hmm. Right? So we've got Toronto. We've got Detroit. Maybe Boston to score some runs. Anything else down here? What's our favorite team? The Dodgers. LAD. Could take the Dodgers to score some runs. Last night, they put up 11. So there was two big teams going at it last night, and there was actually a lot of runs in that game. That's about all I like to see down here. Seattle snuck a win against Houston last night. It says they're going to do it again tonight, so that's kind of interesting. And that's basically baseball. So two real big picks. Toronto in the second leg of that doubleheader, and Detroit as an underdog is really the pick of the day. So let's go Detroit. Is there anything hockey related? We've also got hockey here. And hockey wins and loses sometimes. You never really know. I did like this here, though, which is Winnipeg over Edmonton. You can see this is a pretty reasonable line, and they're really supposed to win. They're an 80% team, Winnipeg. That looks like one of the stronger teams. Also Tampa Bay over Florida, but I'm still scared because Florida's a pretty good team. Other than that, I didn't see much in here. A lot of bad teams playing bad teams. Pittsburgh game's going on right now against an awful Buffalo team. I don't know what the score is there. These actually worked out well early in the day, right? Here we had a team supposed to win 5-1. They won 6-3. Here, supposed to win 5-2. They won 6-3. Those are two wins to start out the day, so that's good. But I'd say Winnipeg is probably another one we could bet today. But what do you think about hockey? I mean, you've heard me talk about hockey.
Scroll to the right. So how are they doing, like, in
good.
The past?
Yeah, way to ask questions. So the historical last 15, let's get our heads out of the way, the last 15, 30, 60 games in this game, look at the difference. Who's playing worse? Edmonton's playing worse. Mm-hmm. And who's playing better? Good old WPG.
Pretty good bet,
They're the best team in Manitoba. So, yep. Do you think Winnipeg is a strong pick of all the hockey picks? I think we're going to throw that on our round robin. So you're going to throw another $100 down in round robins today. Mm-hmm. And we'll see if we can continue winning because right now you're at about 3.5 to 1 on your account is what's sitting there. That's good. You're at 300% right now. We'll see if we can get some more wins today.
You said Tampa Bay too, right?
I mean,
it
does like them. You know, never listen to me, right? And look at how Florida's been playing worse. Yeah. So Hey, Katrina makes her own bets. Listen to her. She knows what she's talking about because she wins. Anything I say, I showed up at the rink in Washington and they lost to Buffalo. Like, I can't. I do have the kiss of death. We've been saying it forever. So apparently Tampa Bay also.
Well, you said like I don't know, like
it does look good. You're right.
59% is goodish, right? So,
but they have fallen off, like you said. Like they actually had some guys hurt. Their defenseman named Aaron Ekblad, a really good defenseman, broke his leg. I think he's done for the year. So
how many games did they play in the past 15 days, and how many in the 30 days?
Good question.
Percentage, but like how many?
Good
games?
question. I guess the way we could look at that would be to review in the cube how many. We'd have to review all the games real quick to kind of take a look. There's a way I could table this and figure it out, but just off the top of our head. So we're saying Florida's games in the last 15, FLA. These are the dates over to the left. So the number of days ago is right here descending. So within the last 15 days, it looks like it was 8 games, including the game today, which is it's counting as a loss today's game because it hasn't played yet, so that distorts the percentage slightly. But you can see they won, and then loss. We can color this in a way so that you can see by color how that works.
Is there a way to change that, like that it doesn't say lose? Because
I could, but you kind of it's okay because it's the same thing it's doing for every team. So it's the comparative percentages are still accurate.
Are they? How many games were played by the other team in the last?
Oh, you're right. If there's a different number of games, the percentage will slightly change.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa, we're getting analytical. She's right. Boy, you're. Maybe this is the reason the algorithm isn't winning is I'm not doing enough coding.
There you go.
I'm a good coder.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I made this backwards. All right, hold on. What she just said is right. So here, Florida's had 8 games in the last 15 days. Well, what about Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay has had fewer games. 1 fewer games, so the percentage is slightly off. Wow, we have to fix that. I guess we'll fix that for tomorrow. I'll make it so this doesn't say win or lose. I'll make it so it says in progress and it doesn't relate to the ratio that is showing right here. Yep. I guess we could subtract 1 from the denominator, but that's still not going to work right because it's counting it as a loss. Yep, I'll fix it. Sorry, thinking out loud in the middle of the video.
I know.
We'll get it done, but regardless of that actually makes Tampa Bay look even better, right? Because they have fewer games and there's 1 loss contributing in the numerator as a loss. So it's not contributing to the numerator of the win. So it's actually they've won probably more than 50% of their games. Both of these have won more than the percentage is showing, but they have won slightly more when you add the 1. Like they get like 7% per win instead of 5% per win or whatever. Yep. All right. Well, that's good to know. Tampa Bay, Winnipeg. We like 1 Canadian team, 1 team from Florida. And when it comes to baseball, we like Detroit. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. And Toronto. So we're just doing and they're actually close to Canada. So 3 of our 4 teams are either in Canada or very close. That's what we'll do today. Katrina's got 4 picks, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Detroit.
Oh, also,
Nobody wants to subscribe to your channel. If you want to code Roblox video games or you have kids that want to do that, then you can subscribe to Baby Spraps' channel. But if you don't have that...
I code and help people code.
I don't know where he got that from. All right.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe also probably another. It's more like a basic thing. So you changed the you were talking about this team Oakland, I guess. You changed the pitcher year, and so that changed how many runs they would score against that pitcher that's worse from that year, the worst stats that year. But also it just made their power. Slightly less negative, so that
don't jump on that because it's moving the computer.
The worst pitch, the team.
Don't step on that. It's moving the computer.
The team with the pitcher that's.
I'm gonna give you a.
This is why all of you who are wondering when I emailed this morning and I'm like, I don't have time to update the file today. I'm busy. And none of you responded saying, "Get it done, Ken." I thank you for not getting angry at me because you understand that there's a lot of drama going on all the time. Relax. So what you were just saying there, if I can start, please stop doing that. What you were talking about is the pitching stats changing and what's going on. Stop.
Yeah. So
stop.
like I'm just trying to understand. So like the obviously the other team would score more runs if we're the worst pitcher, but the power of that team that's doing worse that's going to lose it. It changes it to be something a little less negative.
Watch what happens.
Because why? So their power actually went up with that.
Okay, so right now,
yeah,
Oakland's power, when you change this to 2020 stats for Kohler, he was 0-2 in 2021, lost all his games, and his ERA is 7.45. In the previous year of 2020, Kohler was only 0-1, not 0-2. His loss percentage is only 33% as opposed to 100% in the current year. So he actually had more starts. The 0-1's a little deceiving. He probably pitched like 5 or 6 games, but he only had one loss because he didn't make it all the way through the game and some other pitcher lost. Like the lead changed later in the game. So he pitched more innings and more games in 2020 most likely. His ERA is terrible. It's actually worse. He's giving up 17 runs. And that's affecting the runs here. But it's also affecting the team power because he's actually not as bad of a pitcher in 2020 as he was in 2021 cumulatively because of his loss percentage. So what you're pointing out is that with limited stats this early in the season, this stuff has no choice but to be slightly distorted. And so it does weird things like raise their power percentage yet also make them give up more runs, which is it's actually accurate based on what the numbers are, but it's still, oops, Sonny Gray, wrong guy. The Kohler win here. Like I would argue that either one of these, it doesn't really matter which one you use because it still shows a massive, massive disparity in score, and it's just how bad is Oakland, right?
So when you're betting a specific amount of runs, though, it's like kind of it makes a difference.
But it's usually only 1.5 runs. So usually the bet is Detroit going to win by 1.5? The answer is you could take the Detroit minus 1.5. You're going to get an amazing line. You'll probably get 2.5 to 1 almost. So that is what the algorithm absolutely says to do, and they think that you're going to score a lot of runs against Kohler. And they also think there's a bet you can make called First 5, which has to do with the first 5 innings of the game. And you can say, I think Detroit's going to score more than 3 runs in the first 5 innings of the game, which would be a good bet based on what the algorithm says, because it says that the starting pitcher for Oakland just does nothing but give up a ton of runs. He gives up an average of 17 runs if he pitched a full game. So that is 2 runs per inning, basically, because 18 innings, or 9 times 2 would be 18. It's 2 runs an inning. So you'd bet Detroit to score some runs. That's why it's a pretty big pick. But good question, good point. Got any more questions?
No, not that I saw.
No. So I think that 4-team round robin is Detroit there, or Detroit plus runs. That game is just starting right now. So it's actually a half hour into it. And Toronto in the second game of this doubleheader, and then maybe even 2 hockey games that we like because she's a fan of Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay, I think they won yesterday against the Yankees too. And I said take the Yankees. Tampa Bay actually won that game. And relax, kiddo. And Winnipeg over Edmonton. All right, guys, we're getting busy. We're getting busy. All right.
Subscribe to Baby Sprout.
You know not to do that. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning.